Okay, let's just start with this number because it's kind of mind-blowing. 5 days.
Yeah.
That's how long it took ChatGPT to hit 1 million users. Just 5 days.
It's genuinely staggering. Puts everything else into perspective, doesn't it? Netflix, 41 months.
Months.
Facebook took 10 months. Even Instagram, which felt fast, was 2.5 months.
So this isn't just fast, it's like a different category of speed altogether.
Exactly. And that speed, the fact that this AI is everywhere now, is precisely why we're doing this deep dive.
Right. We need to move past just playing around with it. We need the core skill, which is prompt engineering.
That's the focus. We're using this really practical guide by Nathan Hunter as our map. It's about getting beyond basic prompts to really get what you want out of the AI.
And Hunter's starting point is maybe not what you'd expect. It's
about staying human.
Yeah, he talks about his own experience, which I think a lot of us can relate to. Using things like Siri,
Yeah.
it just got frustrating.
Oh, yeah. He ended up talking like a robot just to get it to understand. Keywords only. And he noticed himself skipping please and thank you. He felt it was, unnecessary friction.
But then he realized something important.
He did. He noticed that this clipped, robotic way of talking was actually making him feel a bit off, a bit less human. And he thought, okay, if a few interactions with Siri do that, what's constant daily interaction with something like ChatGPT going to do to how I communicate generally?
That's a really interesting point. So what did he do? Just start being super polite to the AI?
Pretty much. He started using polite language, friendly tone, his own mannerisms.
But wait, wouldn't that just, confuse it? Or slow things down? Does the AI even care if you say please?
Well, that's the fascinating finding. It doesn't compromise the output quality at all. Being polite, being conversational, it works just fine.
So the benefit isn't for the AI.
Exactly. The benefit is entirely for you, the user. It helps you maintain your own natural communication style. So Hunter's advice is basically ignore those people who say you have to use hyper-focused, keyword-only prompts. You can use prompt engineering and still sound like yourself.
Okay, I like that. Don't let the tool change you.
Right.
But how does ChatGPT handle that? How does it sound so human and understand context?
Under the hood, it's natural language processing, NLP, and a machine learning model trained on just unbelievable amounts of human text and conversation.
Yeah.
Trillions of words.
Right.
But the real game changer, the thing that makes it feel like a partner, is contextual understanding.
Contextual understanding. Okay, what does that mean practically?
Yeah.
Like in a real chat?
Think about how we talk. If I ask you about Paris, and then I say, what about somewhere less touristy? I'm still talking about Paris, right?
Of course.
Older systems, you might have had to start the whole query over. ChatGPT remembers what you've already said in that specific chat. It keeps the context.
Ah, okay. Like the Paris itinerary example in the guide. You ask for tourist spots, get the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, standard stuff.
Yep. But then you can just follow up with, actually, I prefer something more unknown or off the beaten path.
And because it remembers the Paris context.
It adjusts. It suggests maybe the catacombs or checking out street art in Belleville. It understands you like the idea, Paris trip, but wanted a different flavor. That ability to have a flowing conversation is what we need to master.
Okay, so being human helps us, and context helps the AI. How do we get to mastery? Technique 1 seems crucial, iteration.
Absolutely fundamental. Because let's be honest, ChatGPT rarely nails it perfectly on the first try.
Right. It's usually okay, maybe good, but not exactly what you pictured.
Exactly. So iteration is that back and forth process. It's trial and error. It's how you push the output from just good to great or even perfect for your needs. The guide uses a great example for this, developing a character named Farida for a murder mystery. Let's walk through that.
Okay, so the initial prompt is simple. Create a character named Farida for a London murder mystery.
And ChatGPT suggests she's a detective. Plausible, but maybe not what the user envisioned.
Right. So the user iterates, they give feedback. No, she shouldn't be the detective. Can you suggest some other roles?
And it offers alternatives. Witness, family member, suspect, journalist.
The user picks suspect and asks for a new description based on that role. That's the next iteration.
But crucially, they don't stop there. Maybe the suspect description is a bit generic.
So they push again, they iterate further with more specific feedback, make her more realistic if her complexities. They're guiding the AI.
And that's what leads to the much richer, more nuanced final character description. The key is the specific feedback loop.
Precisely. Don't just say, make it better or I don't like it. You need to be concrete. Tell it what worked, what didn't, what you want instead. Ask for variations. Ask for clarification. You're the director here.
Okay, iteration is clear. Edit, refine, repeat. But can we make that first draft better so we iterate less? That sounds like technique 2, role play.
Yes. This one's really powerful. You basically tell ChatGPT who or what it should be before it even starts generating. Give it a persona, a job title, even tell it to act like a specific piece of software.
And that changes the output.
Dramatically.
Yeah.
It tailors the tone, the style, the kind of information it provides right from the beginning.
Like the example of making it act as a newspaper editor.
Exactly. You tell it, act as a newspaper editor. Give me bullet point feedback on my writing's language, grammar, and content. Do not rewrite it.
Ah, so you constrain it. You tell it what not to do as well.
Crucial point. You're focusing its abilities. It
Yeah.
becomes a reviewer, not a rewriter, preserving your voice but giving you expert critique.
That's clever. And you can get creative with it too, right? Like asking it to act as J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah. Describe a haunted forest in the style of Tolkien. Because it's been trained on his work, it can emulate that specific voice, that tone, that vocabulary. And you can push it even further. The Gollum example is amazing.
Oh, right. Tell me about that one again.
The user told ChatGPT to act as Gollum, but also instructed it to include nonverbal actions in brackets like fidgets nervously, or sobs quietly, or clutches imaginary ring.
That adds a whole other layer.
It really does. It shows that the key to great roleplay isn't just naming the role, it's defining the rules of how that role should behave and communicate.
Be specific about what it should do, and just as importantly, what it shouldn't do, like telling it to act like a Linux terminal.
And adding, do not explain your commands, just show the output a real terminal would give. Specificity cuts out the AI's tendency to over-explain.
Got it. Okay, so iteration refines, roleplay sets the stage. What's technique 3? Training ChatGPT or shot prompts. Sounds technical.
It's simpler than it sounds. Think of it as giving the AI examples to learn from before it tackles your main task. There are basically 3 levels. Zero shot is just asking without any prior examples, like, write a poem about cats. Because ChatGPT is so broadly trained, it can often handle these just fine.
Makes sense. What's one shot?
You give it one example of what you want. Here's a poem I like about a dog. Now, write a similar style poem about a cat.
Okay, giving it a template. So multiple shot is just more examples.
Exactly. You give it several examples, maybe 5, maybe 10. This is really useful when you want it to mimic a very specific, maybe niche style that isn't super common in its general training data.
Like my own personal writing style.
Yeah.
Or a very particular type of headline I use on LinkedIn.
Perfect examples. You'd feed it several of your successful headlines and say, analyze these, understand my style, then write 5 new headline options for this specific topic in that style.
So you're essentially fine-tuning it on your specific need before you ask for the final output.
Precisely. It means your first draft is likely to be much closer to what you want, which means less heavy lifting during the iteration phase.
Okay, these 3 techniques, iteration, role-play, training, feel like the core toolkit. Now let's talk about putting them to work. Practical uses. Brainstorming seems like an obvious one.
Yeah, it's great for generating ideas because it has access to such a vast range of information. But again, you need to guide it.
Don't just ask for ideas, right? Structure it.
Absolutely. Ask for the output in a specific format, like the sustainable llama tourism example.
Right. Ask for a table with columns, idea name, short description, sustainability score, target market.
That way you get something organized and comparable immediately, not just a messy list.
And I like that little trick for getting unstuck creatively.
Oh yeah, asking for bad ideas.
Yeah. Ask for crazy and bizarre ideas that definitely won't work, like the llama-powered hot air balloon.
It sounds counterintuitive, but sometimes seeing truly outlandish, terrible ideas can spark a genuinely innovative thought you wouldn't have reached otherwise. It breaks your usual pattern.
Okay, moving on. Academic research and writing. This seems like a huge time saver.
Potentially, yes. It can act like a research assistant. You start by being very specific about your needs. Maybe you need academic sources on, say, free market environmentalism, but you want to focus on the contrast between moral and utilitarian arguments.
So you ask for a tailored reading list first. Books, papers.
Yep. And then you iterate. Pick a promising source from its list and ask ChatGPT to summarize it for you.
But not just any summary.
Right. Ask it to focus specifically on how that source relates to your topic. Ask for key bullet points summarizing the relevant arguments. You can even ask for key quotes.
Can it find page numbers too?
It can, but the guide rightly warns you to always double-check those yourself. AI can sometimes hallucinate specific details like page numbers or even entire citations, but as a starting point for reviewing literature, It's incredibly fast.
Definitely need that human verification step. Okay, let's switch gears to personal use. Learning to code seems like a big one.
Huge potential here. The key is starting with honesty. Tell the AI exactly what you know and don't know.
Like, okay, I understand Excel formulas. I've dabbled in basic HTML, but I want to learn Python. Where should I start?
Exactly. Then you can ask for simple beginner project ideas, maybe a basic calculator, a to-do list app, a simple weather display.
Once you pick one, say the calculator, how do you get the code?
You ask for the code, but, and this is crucial, you use roleplay and instruction. Ask for it with very detailed comments explaining each part, written in simple language that a 10-year-old could understand.
Ah, so you're telling it to be a patient tutor.
Precisely. And when you look at that commented code, you'll see terms you don't recognize, variables, functions, conditional statements.
Then you ask it to explain those.
Yes, but again, use techniques. Ask for simple analogies first. Explain what a variable is using an analogy, like it's a container or a box.
Okay, so it explains the concept simply.
And then you ask, okay, now show me how that box concept is used in the calculator code you gave me. It connects the abstract idea directly to the practical application. Much easier than just reading definitions.
That sounds way more effective than just staring at code. Okay, one more personal use. Tailored recipes. This uses that context feature heavily, right?
Perfectly. You set up a long-term role play. In your first prompt, you give it all your constraints and preferences. Act as my personal sous chef. I am vegetarian, lactose intolerant, I'm trying to gain weight, and I absolutely love Southeast Asian flavors.
And it remembers all that for the entire chat.
Within that chat thread, yes.
Yeah.
So next time, you don't need to repeat everything. You can just ask, okay, suggest 3 dinner recipes for tonight.
But we could do better than just a list of recipes using the structured output idea.
Exactly. Ask for the options presented in a text-speech table. Columns for recipe name, ingredients with quantities, key spices, prep time, cooking time.
So you get this neat comparison chart to help you decide what to cook based on your specific needs and preferences. That's really practical.
It really is. And all these techniques, this growing capability, it leads us to think about the future. And things are moving even faster than most people realize.
Faster than Moore's Law. We hear about that all the time, computing power doubling roughly every 2 years.
Moore's Law describes the hardware, the chips, but the AI models themselves, their growth is blowing past that. GPT 3.5, the model behind early ChatGPT in 2022, had about 1,000 times more parameters, sort of like brain connections, than GPT-1 from just 2018.
1,000 times bigger in only 4 years.
Yeah. That rate of improvement is it's not linear like Moore's Law suggests for hardware. It's exponential. Relying on Moore's Law to predict AI progress is like using a horse and buggy speed limit for a spaceship.
Wow, okay. So this rapid progress means we're seeing AI do more than just chat, right? More specialized tools.
Definitely. We're already seeing applications built on models like GPT-3 for specific tasks. Think virtual beings and interactive stories, specialized copywriting tools like copy.ai that focus just on marketing text, even AI that automatically responds to customer reviews for businesses.
Tailored AI for specific jobs.
And it goes beyond language. We have incredible text-to-image generators like Midjourney. We have voice cloning AI that needs maybe only 30 minutes of your voice to create a realistic digital replica. There's even AI that can generate 3D models from text descriptions.
The landscape is changing incredibly fast.
It really is. Which brings us back to the core message, the big takeaway for you, the listener, from all of this.
Right, the quote that really sticks with you from the source material?
AI will not replace you.
A person using AI will.
That's the heart of it. Hunter argues, and I think he's right, that knowing how to use these AI tools effectively is becoming a fundamental skill, maybe like knowing how to use email or search engines became essential years ago.
It's not if you use AI, it's how well you use it.
Exactly. The difference maker will be your ability to go beyond basic prompts. Can you iterate effectively? Can you use role play strategically? Can you train the AI with examples for specific tasks?
So the goal isn't just to be an adopter of the technology.
The goal is to become an expert user, to master these prompt engineering techniques. Because as we've seen, the future isn't just coming, it's accelerating. And your skill in harnessing these tools is what will truly set you apart.